G'day folks, in this video I'm going to do a walkthrough solve of this 7x7x5. Yeah, this is a beautiful puzzle from Traiphum. I bought it many years ago. One of my favourite puzzles in my whole collection. It's just such a nicely made puzzle and it turns really well. And it's a great challenge to solve. And I'm going to take you through just a solve of whatever this scramble throws up here today. And I'm going to, maybe I even subtitle it on the title of the video, a tribute to the corner piece series. And that may be a little baffling, but I'm going to find that the corner piece series is used over and over in this solve. It's such a versatile thing. I have had a video out years ago on this. I'm going to retire that video once this one's released. And I think I can do a better walkthrough here. It's obviously more up to date. Video quality is hopefully a lot better. Let's get going. This is for those who really enjoy going through an entire solve and just enjoying the beauty of the solve, I guess. The puzzle, it's good. I hope you enjoy it. Glad you're with me. The first thing that I want to do is to solve the 3x3 white and yellow centers. And because it's an odd numbered cube, there is an actual centerpiece. So there's the white center, that's where it belongs, that's the yellow. Now it's not essential at this point that I get all the whites, but I am going to do it anyway. I'm going to put all the whites here, all the yellows here. And the reason is it's going to help a lot when I'm doing some triplets later on, some edge triplets. So it doesn't take that much more work to do. So the first thing, I'll just be moving the edges up onto the white face in position, just finding where they are. There's one there. Oh, there's another one, so let's put that into its position. Where's the fourth? No, doesn't exist. Where have I put it? Apparently, oh, there it is. It's on the other face, on the yellow face. So there we go. We'll turn that up. And to get the corners, I'm going to do them all the same way. Very simple. I'm going to turn this edge up to this face, and I want a corner in that lower left position. Basically going to turn it up, push that corner out, and then rotate this face so that when I bring the corner back, once everything's aligned properly, I have a join. And in the early stages, I can just turn that and put it back. Easy done. Here's another one. I can do it on the right as well. So I'll bring that up, make a pair, and I can put that one back. You can see it's really straightforward to do. There's one up on the opposite face and there's one here. So let's get that one there. Yep, I can do the same thing, and it doesn't matter that there's two here. It's actually going to be perfectly okay because that other corner will sit over there when I do it. As I said, I can still at this point just turn them around and put it back. The last one's on the yellow face. I've got a couple of options. I mean, really, I can just do the same thing and do it over on that yellow face. I'm going to turn it up to the yellow face. As long as that corner is in the same position, it'll still work fine. So put it there, return 2 turns, and now I've got that triplet and I can place that back. So pretty quick. I want to do the same sort of thing with the yellows. It's a little bit different, obviously, because I don't want to destroy the whites. So that yellow edge can go up there first. Where's the fourth yellow edge? Right there. So I might do something like push that one out, turn the face, bring it back. As it happens, I've got 3 yellow corners to do now. So just find where they are. Okay, there's one. Well, I can do that same sort of thing here. Now the difference now is that I can't really just sort of turn it back because it'll knock out that white one there. So instead, I just want to turn it off, bring a position up, then return it and put it down. And that will ensure they don't get moved. There's a corner there, might as well do that one. And then put it in. And the last one, okay, it's there. So I can just turn that face and that face to get them lined up. And the yellows are now done as well. So as I said, it's not essential to get all yellows here, all whites here, but it will help later. The next thing I'm going to do is to basically do something similar with the side faces, but I'm not going to solve all of them. All I want to do is get a piece either side of each center, and I want to have it eventually running horizontal here. So if I call my yellow and white up and down, you can see that orange. I need to grab another orange from somewhere. So I'll just turn that on, and then that's, when I look at it like that, that is a horizontal. That's what I'm looking at. Same with the blue. Now this time, because the blue's there, in fact it doesn't matter at all because that orange is horizontal. I was going to say I had to be careful about not disturbing that, but because it's horizontal, it's fine. The reds are good. Last one is the greens, and there's a green over there. Let's just have a look. Yep, that's great. They're all there. The reason for that is if I try and do that later, I cannot. So that's the next tiny little mini stage. Now, the next thing that I want to do is to reduce the sort of the triplet edges, not the whole lot, just 1, 2, 3 that correspond to the positioning of the 3x3 centers. And I don't want to reduce them by color. There is absolutely no point. They're going to be broken up later by color. I just want to reduce them by type. So as an example, there's two types here. There's these types which belong in the middle layer, like there. You can see there's a completely reduced set that I'm going for now. Those types belong in the middle layer. The other types are these yellow white ones. That's a reduced set as well. So I'm happy with that. That is what I'm aiming for the whole lot. What I generally try and do is, if I can, I do them on this face so that I keep the horizontal nature, or these three center sort of pieces in a line. Let's see if that's possible. I've got those three. I could take them off. I've got those three done. Having said that, it doesn't really matter. Normally what I do is just find something that needs doing. So there's two of them. Is there another one? There's another one. So that's two faces away. So I'm going to turn that up to join it. Yes, the centers have come out, but what I'm going to do now is replace that with another piece over here. And I'll turn that. So the one I just made, I think maybe it's that one. I can now return my centers, and as long as I return them, everything here will stay good. That's also done that one, which is great. So normally this doesn't take too long. I've got a piece of these. Is there another double of them? No, let's try and get the yellow and whites sorted. We've got a yellow green there. That needs to go. Yep. So these two can turn on, and I'll replace that with something else that's not yet been done. I'm looking for something that won't damage what I've already done. I'll just have to use this one here. It will damage one of them, but I guess that's okay. Let's go again. I've got this one that can join onto that one there, and I'd like to replace it with something that only is going to be broken there, like this one. So when I turn this one onto it, you can see that's the piece that's going to be knocked out, but I don't care about that piece. Now we're going 1, 2, 3 on the right, 1, 2, 3 on the left. So that's 6 done, 7. I've only got 5 to go. Let's keep going. The easiest one I think would be to put this one there. So I'll just turn that face and bring it on, and now replace it with something, and probably this one. And from time to time, I just check that my pieces here are still horizontal. They all look pretty good. Where's the next lot? There's a couple here, and those are all done. So what have I actually got left? I might even put them all near the middle. 2 there that need another one. That white one will go up to there, so that's good. And I do have one here that I can use if I want. And that one needs to go in that position. And the reason I'm only doing triplets is because at this point, what I'm trying to do is get the thing returned to perfect cuboid shape with no pieces in the wrong positions, not necessarily color, but positions. At the moment, this is all shape shifted. That's what I don't want. 1, 2, 3, all of them are done. 1, 2, 3, all of them are done. What have I got left? 1, 2, just 3 to go. Okay, let's just get the last. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is take that one off to the side face so that I can turn this piece down to there and replace it with this one. Return the centers. That'll leave me, I think, 2. That one and that one should be the only things left. So this normally would be a slight issue, but because I'm not doing it by color, it's not an issue at all. All I need to really do is say, I'll put that there. That white orange piece is going to turn down to here. What I want to do is replace that piece with any one of these sort of pieces. That's the only thing I've got to think. So if I bring that down to this triplet, I can replace it with one of these. That's it. So just something like that. Now let's bring the centers back, and that the horizontal parts in the middle are still good. That's great. That blue one, I can just turn that there. And all the rest, all the triplets should now be properly together. They are. Excellent. Alrighty. So what that means now is that I can start going to place these triplets in position on the white and yellow faces for these ones, and then these ones in the middle layer. I'm going to do it as follows. The first thing, I'll just choose white or yellow and just get 4 of these things correctly oriented up there. For example, I'll place that one up there. I'm going to use 4 turns every time, not just move it up. And the reason for that is to keep these horizontal parts here. So that one's good. Let's get this one in place. There's a second one there. Here's a third one. And the fourth one can be this one. So I'll just do something like, how could I do this easily? I could actually just do a down, down, up, up. All right, there we go. That's got 4 of them sitting correctly. Let's just check that still looks pretty good. Now, I'll turn it up, and I'll now want to place these pieces, but I want to ensure that these middle edges are correctly oriented. For example, that blue-orange, you can see that's never going to place with simple turns because really the blue should be there. So that is not correctly oriented yet. So I'll take these one by one. I'll look at the middle one, that's green-red. That's got to go here, and the green has to be on this side. So that can just be basically a down, down, up, up to place that one. And that's in. You can see that the red matches the center, the green matches the center. That's what I'm talking about. Here's a blue, red. Let's turn that around. Same sort of thing there. What's next? Blue, orange. Okay, that's got to go to there. So I've only got one left, and I'm now going to use that one to sort of get these yellow white ones on here done at the same time. For example, something like, I'm just trying to be sort of vaguely smart here. I'll do that. That will work. That's okay. Got 2 there. Now the green has to go here. So the first thing is that's not going to work. I think what I have to do is something like this. Now the green's going there. Yep, beautiful. So now when I do a down, down, up, up, everything will orient correctly, as it should. And you can see what I mean. All the yellow whites are sort of flat on both sides. When I look around here, they are all in the correct position. Now, note that there is a piece or two, like this green piece. There's no simple way I can get that out of there. I am going to deal with that, but it's going to happen later, not now. So that's fine. I've noted that. What do we want to do next? Well, now that it's looking better, as you can see, the thing that I want to do now is basically I solved the 3x3 centers. I now want to look at the corners of a 5x5 on these faces. For example, that white. Oh, there's one that should be there. There's one that should be there. That's what I'm talking about, filling. Now, to do this, this is the first time I'm going to sort of talk about using the corner piece series and the corner piece series for cuboids. Well, I'm going to carry out a corner piece series on this particular puzzle. It's a 4x4x6. It's going to allow me to really demonstrate clearly what I'm talking about here. I'm going to use the top two layers for my upturn to keep everything looking the same. So an upturn, then a right turn, just a 90-degree right turn, then an up prime, so here's my up face, and then a left prime. Then I'll continue an up, and a right prime, and an up prime, and a left. That is the bog ordinary standard corner piece series, but what you'll notice is fascinating as to what's actually happened here. It's not just pieces moving positions, but it's how they are sort of sticking out and moving. The first thing we notice is that this piece on the back, which was here, has simply rolled across to the back. We also notice that this piece here, the red, white, green, came from that position. So that has rolled down the side. And then the piece that was here, which was on the green color on the side, has now landed on the top. Now, that's all good and well. What I want to show you is the same sort of thing using the corner piece series for cuboids, as I've named it, when you can't do 90-degree turns. Now I'm going to carry out the corner piece series for cuboids, but using a different face as my up face, purely to show how the bits stick out in that sense. So I'm going to do an upturn. I've named it the corner piece series for cuboids because often you cannot do a right turn only. You can here, but I'm going to pretend you can't. So a right 2 instead of a right, then an up prime, and then I want to do left 2. Then I would do an up. Now normally I would just be doing a right prime to bring it back, but now I'm doing a right 2 and an up prime, and then finally a left 2. Now the reason I've done that is so again you can see how things stick out, and this is the bit that's most useful for us. So you can firstly see that this piece at the bottom came from there and it has rolled across the bottom. The other thing is, because it was in this position, it was pointing to the left. Now, when I finish, it's pointing outwards. I'm going to demonstrate something in a minute to show you how that can come back to there. But before I do, this piece, the right, white, red, blue, came from that position and it simply rolled down to the bottom and it did not change its orientation at all. So the piece that was here changed its orientation, as did the piece that was here, because that was flat and now it's sticking out. So what I'll do now is pretend that I've got it in this position and I want to replace these things. And importantly, this is going to flatten down to there. So I'm just going to do the mirror now. All right, the mirror's done. I had a setup here, so I'll undo that. And you can see that it's completely gone back to where it should have. Really, really crucial thing is that if I have a piece that's essentially sticking out like that, when I do the corner piece series for cuboids, it's going to be sticking out to the front. If it is sticking out at the front, when I switch it across to here, it's going to be flat. That is what we need to get us going. All right, with that in mind, what I'm looking for initially is I would probably just try and get multiple bits that need doing onto the same face. I can happily do 180-degree turns here because I don't care if this is not in position now. As long as it's oriented correctly, that's what matters. So I would look here and firstly, just look to see if the corner piece series on its own could be used, and that is going to be nice. So this one here, if I do a 3 cycle like that, I sort of think that's going to roll across the back, and we see that that white piece will land where I want it to. In the same way, this one will roll down to here, and that white piece will land where I want to. So that's going to be 2. Don't really care about this one. I don't think it'll work over there, but that's okay. So I'll do, now that happens to be movable. I think they're not always movable, but for now I'll do that. Now sometimes what will end up happening is that because of the interaction of the faces at the moment, you start off a sequence being able to turn just an outer, but then halfway through the inner turns as well. It doesn't always work, and you kind of have to go, oh, try something else. But you can see that's done it fine. I've got 4 done, 5 done. I've only got 3 to go. 2 are here, and the other one is here. So I'm going to firstly see if I can get that placed into the correct position up here, and that's going to work nicely. So, well, I think it is anyway. This one's going to go to there. That one will come to this position, and now I've got this last yellow one there, which should roll across to the top there and finish these last 3 pieces. Here's hoping. There we go. All the others on the other face are done. Let's check. Every time I finish a stage, I just sort of have a quick check of what I've done already. That's looking really good. Those ones are done there, so that's nice. Next, I want to position my outer corners, and what I mean by that is I note that I still got these bits sticking up. Now, what you'll find if you have one of these, or you ever get to play with it, you will either have 2, 4, 6, or 8. I've got 8 in this scenario, and there'll always be a way to get them so that they match together. And I'm just going to, it's very hard to explain what I'm saying here, but I'll see what I can do. If I basically want them all to be like that, because if they were all like that, that outer layer would turn. You can see at the moment they're not. Like I turn that, that's no good. So that's the sort of thing that I'm attempting to do here. You just, sometimes this is a matter of fiddling until you get it. I have a feeling that might not be too bad. We'll see. And still return to the same as before. So then, what happens with that? I've got those 2 there on the outer. And the ones that I want to replace, is that better? Maybe, maybe not. You can see I've sort of got 2 that are stretched out, 2 that are in, and then these 6 are in. So this, I reckon I'm back to where I started here, to be honest. I'm not sure. The reason that I need them all on the same is to be able to flatten them. That's why I'm not just doing this for fun. Well, you know, it is fun, but there is a method here. Normally I just have to start thinking about what is going to make sense in this scenario. Those 2. Oh, done it. Okay, good. Now I've got 2 that are in and 2 that are out on each face, and I'm pretty sure that means I'm home. So what I would do here is bring those together. That's good. And then when I turn this, it's the same. You can see now that I have managed to get both of these outer slices or faces turning. They are all on the same level. They're on the very upper and the very lower. That's what I needed. Now what I'm going to do is use the corner piece series for cuboids to flatten them. So I'm not trying to place them as such. I'm just trying to get them flat. So to do that, here we go. I just need to have 2 at the bottom that need to flatten. And what will happen is this one will go over to there and flatten like that. The one that's up the top will actually come down to the bottom and still be sticking out. but this one will go up there and flatten. So I'm definitely going to get 2 done. I've got 8 of them. I've just got to keep going till they're done. So an upper turn and a right 2, up prime, left 2, and just repeat that. Here we go. If we look around, there'll be 6 now. So I've just got to get them into the same location. I can do them like this as well, but probably the easiest thing is just to go, what was the next thing, I guess, because it's these outer ones that I'm trying to do. I could hold it like that. That would work as well, because that will flatten like that. So that is probably decent enough. Let's do that. Done. There's only 4 left now. If I turn that up there, okay, these 2 can go. And last 2 to go. Here we go, done. So that's now getting really close to the stage where it's completely back to normal shape. There's nothing really sticking out on the corners and stuff. It's obviously just this stuff here. And that's quite clearly what we've got to do next. So what I'm going to do, a couple of methods here, depending on if they work or not. I'm looking for 3s, triplets. They don't have to be all yellows or all whites. They just happen to be. Looking for, in fact, I might even just turn that around to ensure that there's no confusion there. So I've got a couple of triplets here, and I want to put them opposite each other, like that one and then that one. Then I want to have triplets of these bits here. So there's 1 triplet there already. Now I'd like to make another one. I can turn that face, and I can bring that green piece up just by turning that slice. And now I've got that one needing to go there, that one to here, this one to here, that one to here. How am I going to do it? Well, I'm just going to turn them around, but just that slice. Now, that being the case, here I go again with the corner piece series, but this time, the bits that are sticking out are on the second layer. So when I turn my upper face, I don't want to be turning that layer. I want to be turning my second layer only. So I do an upper turn like that, then a right 2, up prime, left 2. Repeat. I don't need to do this last left 2. I normally do, but I don't need to. And there's only 2 more there now, so I'll just repeat for them. There we go, they're done. And I've got less of these things now. I attempt the same thing. So I still am going to see if I can firstly make 2 sets of triplets. I've got that can come to there, and this one will go to there. So that's awesome. That will work nicely, and I just have to get these opposite each other, which those are. Now I've got to make sets of triplets here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I do it? I think I should be able to. So I can bring just those slices together to make 1 set of triplets. Obviously, I'm going a lot quicker here than I would if it was a full-fledged tutorial, which if they ever do release a mass-produced 7x7x5, I shall certainly look forward to doing. And you can see I've got the same thing here now, and I've got those last 4, so I turn them across either direction and go ahead, flatten everything again. And the last 2. Done. Back to true, totally flat shape, as if we'd never shape shifted it at all. Awesome. Now, sometimes you get 1 or 2 little bits sticking up here and 1 or 2 in here. You can't actually make triplets. The reason I'm not going to show you that, I'm not going to sort of cut away and set it up, is because I'm about to have to do the same technique to fix something that I would use for that. So the thing that I'm going to have to do, you remember I mentioned earlier that I had pieces like this, where there's an orange piece next to the blue, there's no way I'm going to be able to get that orange piece to the red or the orange face just by doing this sort of thing. Like, it just will never go there. It's stuck on the green and blue side. You also might be thinking, hey, the horizontal line's gone. That's okay, because it's sitting over there. I can get it back very easily. The big issue now is, how do I get that orange piece over to these faces here? So there's an orange piece there. Is there any others that need to be done? Green piece there. So I've got a couple that I have to do. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to use, what do you think? The corner piece series for cuboids. Yes, let's use that. So I want to move this orange piece initially to this up or down face. Doesn't matter which one. I know, and I will very quickly demonstrate this. Let's have a look what happens if I do something like the following. I'm going to do a corner piece series for cuboids, but I'm going to turn slices here for left and right. So the one that I'm going to look at, how can I do this so that it's very clear what's happening? White to yellow, that's probably not a bad one. The white to the yellow, in fact, the white's going to come down here to that yellow to that white. Those are the three pieces that are going to change. So I'm going to have this white will land there. So there'll be a 2x2 square there. The yellow will go to here. That's the key thing. And that white's going to come up to replace that. So the change we're going to see after this, there'll be a white there and a yellow there. And what I'm going to do, upper face turn, and then the piece was on that third slice. So I'll just turn the third slice. Up prime. Now the piece is on the second slice. So I'll just turn, well, I should say that, I don't know, the first slice maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just do it. Okay, you can see nothing seems to have changed there, but look at that. I've got a 2x2 block of white, and now there's a yellow piece there. That piece movement is super useful for what I need to do now. I want to get that green out of here onto one of these faces. What I'm going to do is do a setup like that. And I'm going to put the green here. That green is going to end up turning to that position on the face. The piece movement is the piece on the top down to the corresponding position on the bottom to there. Now the problem at the moment is, if I just do it like this, I'm going to have issues. I'm certainly going to move that to there, but I'm also going to end up moving that orange across to here as well. What I really want to do is, in fact, let me think if I do want to do this. At the moment, that orange will go to there, which will come back. The green goes to there. That one is going to go to there. That may actually be okay. Sometimes I actually have to think. When I turn that back, that will be there, which is fine. That yellow piece will be there, which will go to there, which is okay because I need to replace it anyway. Let's just do this and we'll see what happens. I think the orange is going to, I know where the pieces are going to go. It's just after the setup's done, what's going to happen. My thing is the following. If I consider what I'm trying to do here, that green piece has got to go to there. That's what I really want to do. Okay, so there's my setup. Up. Now it's the very, very middle slice. So I just want to turn that middle slice. Now it's this sort of first slice. I just want to turn that. That's the end of it. Now I'm going to undo my setup. Yeah, that was actually okay. So the thing that I've done now is that green came out of there. Now, where does it go? It needs to go into a position where there's a green edge or a blue edge that has the wrong piece. There's a blue edge that's got an orange piece that really needs the green to go there. So I'm going to do something very similar here. And what I'll do is just a bit of a setup, I think. Yep. In the same way, I now want to place that green piece to that position. The way to do it is do the setup and then another setup to get the green piece there, which will now go to here. What's it going to do as well? Pull that orange piece out. So if we have a look where things are at, that orange piece actually needs to come out anyway to go back into the position over here. So that's why this will work really nicely. Okay, so there's my setups. Now I'm going to carry out exactly the same thing that I just did. Remembering it is precisely the same sequence that I've been using all the way through. I'll undo the setups, and that orange is out. The green has gone back in. So when I look around, everything next to these edges will be the correct thing except for one piece. The red's correct next to the orange. The green's obviously correct. That's fine. That's fine. Green, blue, red. Everything's good except that's missing its piece. That's what I'm now going to put in. So again, I can sort of move things around so that that orange will now go to that position. So here we go. That first setup, and then this upper turn. Now I carry this out again. When I'm done, that issue that I started with will be fixed. Must undo my setup to get everything back to normal. Okay, you remember that I had sort of things like red with a green next to it. Now, all of these things are correct, and that means that I'll be able to properly solve it. So that technique is what I can also do if I have little pieces here sitting up in this position and I want to move them to that position there. Alrighty, now that I've done that, what I want to do is come and properly solve the white and the yellow centers first of all. So to properly solve them, how am I going to do it? The same sort of way. I'm going to be using the corner piece series mostly, but initially what I can do is just turn to place the white edges, and when I've placed all four of the white edges, that'll obviously place all four of the yellow edges as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Now the corners. How am I going to do that? I'm going to use the corner piece series for cuboids. So that yellow, in the same way, that's going to come down to here. That's going to go to there. That's going to go to there. So I position things as I want them. The piece in that position is going to come up to here. I'd like that piece to be a white piece. So yellow will go down to here. This white will go across to there, and that white will come up to there. I just remember I'm doing the slices. I'm turning to this one, and that yellow piece turns to here. So that's the other slice that I end up turning. Up turn, right 2, up prime, left 2, and repeat. There we go. That white's now in position and that yellow one's in position. I'll just do that again until the middle 3x3 is done. Now the thought has just occurred to me. It takes me a long time to think of stuff. Couldn't I do the same thing that I was doing before? And I'm kind of sitting here going, maybe I could. So I'm just going to try that. Really early on, I pushed this up, pushed that out and turned it across. I think that'll still work. So I'm going to push that to there, turn it, bring it back. It does work. So at this stage for these ones, you don't have to use the corner piece series there, but of course I'm in love with it, so that's what I did. Now I am going to probably have to use it for the rest of it, but we'll see. The next thing, I want to get all these yellow more outer edges on here. I've got 3 whites next to the yellow. How can I do that? Well, just turn one on. There's another one. There's the 4th one. I'm pretty intrigued now whether I can continue doing that same method. I'm really not sure. Let's try this one. I want to place the yellow piece in there. Where do I need it to be? That piece there is the corresponding piece, I think. Or is it that one? No, I think it's that one. Because, yeah, let's just try it. Turn that, turn that. No, that's why I can't do it, because that's gone over to the wrong slice. Okay, so from here on, you learn something new every day. I will use the corner piece series, and what I want to do is the same sort of thing as before. Firstly, I'm going to do these sort of inner ones here, not the outer corners. I'll do them at the end. I'll do the inner ones, and let's look at this yellow. I say that yellow turns to that position. So the piece movement is going to be this yellow piece will come down to the corresponding position here. Let's actually turn that around. So yellow will go to its position. That will then go to that position as it turns, and the white will come up to there. Same thing, different slices. But all slices, of course. And doing that ensures that all the edgy bits that we did remain done. Let's have a look at another one. I've got this one here. Where's that going to turn? To that position. So technically, what I can do is either do this to here, or I can start with it there and say it's going to turn around to that position. Maybe I'll do that. It matches there, so it's going to go to there. So I need a white piece there. Now I'm good to go. The white will come back up here. So just keep note of the slices. It's that slice, the third slice from the left, and the second slice from the right is what I want. Okay, that's done. There's one more of those things, that yellow one there. So that means I need the corresponding white to be in that position. They're all done. Now it's just these corners, same sort of thing, but I'm going to be turning the second slice on both sides. In fact, I can also turn the outer here because it doesn't matter. I haven't done anything on the outers yet, so I might as well. The last one is that corner. Put the white piece in position, and away I go. And all white and yellow centers are complete. Coolio. Okay, the next thing that I want to do is the remaining centers. The first thing I want to do is get this middle line completely correct. So to do that, I've already got the triplets. They were placed very, very near the start, the three pieces in the center of each face. I'm not going to worry about this yet, but I do want to get that green piece over to the green face and the blue piece to there. Now, I can't just turn it because it mucks up the centers. So what I'll do is turn the green onto there, turn that face, and return it. Now the greens are done, the blues are done. Got the same sort of thing with the reds and the oranges. The other red does that. Okay, all the reds are done. Now you might be wondering, what about the outer pieces? Well, because we had them placed, they can just be turned into position at any time we like, and that whole middle strip is complete if we want. They're going to come out soon, doesn't matter, they're ready to be placed at the end. What's the next thing I want to do? I now want to take care of these top and bottom pieces on the middle layer. And the way that I'm going to do that is a simple way and then a slightly more difficult way, which involves a little algorithm known as the corner piece series, but we'll get to that later. Initially, I'm going to just look to see, can I just make, let's say, a full green quintet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. And to do that, I need corresponding pieces on the other side in the other position. So that green piece there, when I turn it here, I can see, that goes to the top. It was on the bottom at the back, so that's going to go to the top. So I can turn it to there, displace the centers, and now replace this with some other piece that's not yet done. So I can either turn that off and replace it with this one, or I can move this one out of position, turn it off, bring it back, and replace. Either way, it's 4 moves. That's done. There's the third or the 3 greens I just made, and now I put the centers back. And you'll notice all the very middle strips are still done. There's 3 greens. Have I got more? There's another green here I can do. Replace that with something else. I say 4 moves, but it's not absolutely essential to do that last move there that I didn't do. Last green. Now there's a piece there that'll work. So if I turn that to the back, that will now be in position. So I'll do that, and I should now have a nice green quintet. Now what I try and do is do by color. So I'll look for the next green set, one there. There's a piece there. So we're going to find that sometimes they are not possible to do all of them. So I'm expecting that will happen. put the centers back. There's 2 greens. Where's another one? I've got to get, I can turn that across. Yep, that's the next one. There's 3 greens. So I want to turn, there's one there that I could use. I'll turn that across, that'll land on the top. And then the final green, if it's going to work. Is it going to work? Yes, it will. Okay, cool. Just totally forgotten what I just did. I think I need to do that. Right in the middle of doing that, I had a complete brain fade, but I think it's worked out okay because I've got those 2 greens done. All the white and yellow centers are still where they should be. Next, I would potentially say, okay, it doesn't matter which other one, but I'll do something that's, maybe I'll do, there's 3 blues here. There's also 3 reds. Take my pick. Okay, I'll do the blues if I can. I'd like to do that one next. So I'll move both of them down primarily because they're both not done and so are they. So it doesn't really matter what happens there. Both of them back, and then the last blue can be there. And there's a blue quintet done. We'll try for the last blue quintet. I have a feeling this may not work, but we'll see. I just want to do that slice because I already had these 2 pieces. So that's fine. The slice back, see where we're at. 3 blues. Where's more? There's one down there. That will work. Now I've got to replace that with something that's not done. This piece over here looks good. And that should leave me with 4 blues. Is that last blue piece in the correct position? It actually is. So it's over here. It's going to turn onto there, but I have to get it to this back face. So I'll just turn it, rotate the face, and put that back. Okay, so that is going to place there, and then I can bring in another piece that's not done to get my white yellow centers. So blues and greens are completely done. Next is reds and oranges. There's a couple of reds that look really close, so let's focus on them. There is a red piece there that will go to there, so I'll do that. Where's the one that I'm going to replace it with? Because I've got to be looking and saying that's got to be replaced with something. And I've actually not got that much to do. In fact, because there's very little left to do, I might try and demonstrate this on this red piece if the last one is going to work, which I reckon it is. Yeah, it is. So I've got, when I turn that around to there, I've got to replace this with something else. And the piece here is going to turn back to that position. And because I've got nothing else that's not really done, what I want is to replace this with an orange quintet that's already done so that the orange piece will turn back. So that's how I know how to deal with this. I'll replace it with that orange quintet. Okay. Move it around. In fact, will I, or will I replace it with a different one? I will replace it with that one because that's the only one I've got. Yes, genius. Okay, there it is. Put this one over to here. And then turn the centers back. You can see that's gone orange and that orange has gone there. That's what I was trying to do. The last piece. Here we go. Do we have an issue? We do certainly have an issue. And this was the other little method that I said that I need to use. And you do sometimes get this where they will not finish. If you look at it, that's got to be an orange piece, which has to come from that position. But it's here. Like it's going to turn down to the bottom there, not the top. So I cannot finish these off in the same way. What I'll need to do is use the corner piece series for cuboids again. Now, I want to think to myself, yet again, I'm going to be doing top face, bottom face, and the piece movement goes like that on the bottom face. So if that's an orange piece, I want that to travel down to an orange quintet, which has to go there. The first thing I'm going to do is place this one into that position. I'm actually going to leave this one here because I think that's where it belongs. Okay, so that orange piece turns down to that position. Orange goes to there, good. Continues that quintet. This orange, when we turn it round, goes to that position. So that orange will go to there and fill this orange quintet. Where is the red piece going to go? Back up to here. Beautiful. That is the sort of thing that I want to do. I've got my pieces set up. This is how I've got to do it. An upturn. What am I doing? Right 2, but it's just that slice. Up prime, left 2. Repeat. And you can see, hey, they're all done. So that's the technique I'd use for that very last piece or two if they get into that sort of position. Holy dooly. Okay, they're done. The middles are done. What do I want to do? I want to now solve the remaining middle layer pieces. So the first thing is to get all these centers correct. That's generally just a matter of initially just turning so all the reds are there. Let's put some blues in. What's next? I guess I could put the other blue in. That's oranges. Yep, and we'll finish the oranges. All done. So those ones are done. The next thing, I'm going to now place these very middle outer type edges. So I'll just turn as I need to get them placed. That's all I had to do there. Occasionally you'll have a 3 cycle, like left, right type thing, but they're done. Next thing, I want to get these pieces done. And to do that, I'm going to use the corner piece series for cuboids. Yep. And if you remember, what happened was when we did it with the pieces sticking out, they sort of changed positions. I want to think of that in the same way here. This green red is going to roll to there, and you can see that it's going to place exactly where I want it to place. Green red will roll. What I would normally do is say, all right, that's going to roll to there. Could I get the piece that belongs here and put it up there? Well, that's an orange green. Let's see if it's easily available. No, it's not. However, it is down there, I think. And so I could do a setup to bring that orange green piece so that it will roll down into this position. So when I do this, the orange green will go here, the green will go there. I'll get 2 done. I'm happy. How am I going to do it? Well, this time they're on the outer faces or slices. So that's what I want to turn for my left and right. Up, right 2, up prime, left 2. Repeat. And you can see orange green's gone in, green red's gone in, and that worked because all I'm really doing, I'm sort of forgetting about the top layer and I'm saying that's my upturn. So technically my up is a slice turn, but because I haven't done anything on the top layer, I might as well turn that as well. So that's the sort of thing I'm doing. Here we've got a green red's going to go across to there. Oh, hang on, I've got to undo that setup. Got a green red going to here. I'm going to do the mirror this time. So is there a green orange? Yes, there is. It's actually in position. That's fantastic. Go, that's done. What's next? Blue. Okay, here we've got a blue red. I've got to get, in fact, none of these are set up nicely. So probably the best thing would be just to go, because I've got 2 swaps. I've got a swap of these and a swap of these. So all I'm going to do now is try and place one of them, because I'm only going to get one placed anyway. So if I turn this one around to there as a setup, that will come and place here. That's really all I care about. Okay, undo that setup. What have I got left? These 2. I can see that one is going to roll to there. Where's the third piece? Oh, hello. In fact, that one wants to roll to there. That one, no, it doesn't. It's right there. I thought I had a swap. I was getting excited. No, that's the third piece. So I'll put that into, how's this going to work? The blue-orange, now that I've actually looked at it, the blue-orange goes to there. This blue-red needs to turn to there for a setup. So I'll do the mirror version here. Okay, undo setups. There we go. All of that entire middle layer is done. Now, this is a walkthrough solve, so I'm not going to set up for things that might happen, but the thing that could happen is you could get a swap of two of these pieces. They could be there, 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 wherever. If that happens, what I'd be doing is turning that one turn and then resolving these center parts and then resolving them, and they would all work out nicely. What is next? I don't know. Make quintets of these outer edges. We're getting fairly close to the end, to be honest. Quintets of the outer edges in the same way that we made quintets of these bits here. So what I would do, I normally just try and do all the whites first. So I've got to put them 180 degrees apart. So there's a couple of blue whites there, a couple of blue whites here, and I can just turn the slices that I need if I want. So just to demonstrate, I could just turn those two slices. I've got to replace that with something else. Doesn't matter what, just something from the side face. And then I put the slices back. And there's 4 blue whites. Where's the other one? Sitting right there in position. I like it when that happens. And I'll replace that with this one here. Centers are back. Now, it doesn't matter that these come out at the moment. They will easily just turn straight back into position. I'm not actually disrupting any of those sort of upper and lower pieces there. What's next? I've got white greens. I've got 2 white greens there, so I might as well just make a third or a triplet there and replace that with something. Three white greens somewhere. There they are. Where's the other 2? Of course, they're not together. I've got to do them one at a time. We'll do that one first. And that would be okay to use this one. I'm just looking at the pieces that are actually on there and what's going to be broken up. And because I'm turning both those, I was looking at those white reds. They will not be broken up when I turn the centers back. Last white green piece is there. What can I replace that with? Probably this one. Okay, so what have I done? White greens, white blues. What's next? White reds. Well, there's a couple of white reds there. There's a couple there, so let's just take care of them first. I might as well do all 3 of these, I think. It's just easier. And what can I replace that with? Probably that one. And then the last white red is sitting there in position. So I can turn that up and now replace it with this piece. Okay, that's the 3 of the whites. I've got white, orange still to go. That's all over the place. Okay, fair enough. Let's put that one there on. Now I've got those 2. That one there can be joined. What can that be replaced with? I don't want to break that up. That's looking really dodgy. That's a great one to replace it with. Now, 3 white oranges. Where's the other 2? There's one here. Again, just having a check what would be a sensible piece to replace it with. Actually, nothing, if I'm going to be honest, because I only want to turn that outer piece back. So what I might just do initially, that's a really good piece to have on the side. So I'm going to put that there so that I can then, what's happened to my white orange? Where did that go? There it is. There's the other piece. Now, do I have, and I do have a, yes, I do have a dodgy piece on the side. That's what I wanted. Okay, so I can now replace it with that. return the centers and I'm good. And the last white orange is going to come there. Is there something to replace that one with? You can see on the sides, everything's looking really good. That's why I'm looking. I need to get that piece to the side first, I think, so I can use it. Let's try this now. Yeah, it is going to break up a yellow-green. Unfortunately, not a whole heap I can do about that, I don't think. But that's all the whites done. I've only got the 4 to go now. And I'll just see what's the most sensible one to do. I've got the yellow-orange. I've got 2 yellow oranges here. That's great. So they are going to come to that position. Now, which of these? That one's not going to make sense because it's going to replace those 2. They'll go over here. So I would really like to get that one over to the side before I start. Okay, now we should be right. It's the yellow-orange is done. 3 to go. Yellow-green, yellow-red, yellow-blue. Looks like yellow-green's a good one, and that's in position, so I just need to find that other one. At this point, there might be nothing I can do about... I mean, I've probably... in fact, I have only got 3 edges left, so I have to do that. The other thing I could do is I've got yellow-reds that are all here. I'm going to create that yellow-red quintet, I think. I reckon that's what I'm going to do. And this one I'll put on the side. So let's create the yellow-red, replace it with this other one. Now, it's almost never happens that you just finish this and they'll all perfectly place. You normally get something like we have here. And in fact, what I've got is a single swap of 2 pieces. I've got this yellow-blue's got to go there. The yellow-green has got to go there. So that's what I need. Now, if that happens, the fix for this, and it's not a difficult fix, it's actually pretty straightforward given what's happened, because there's no amount of anything that's going to do this in simple turns. What I need to do is basically turn this, or any of these slices, 1 turn. So I just want to turn that slice 1 turn like that. Once I've done that, I need to replace these centers first of all. So you can see the yellow's got to go there, blue's got to go there, etc., etc. So first of all, perhaps I'll get the yellow center back in there. I will do that like I'd do this on a 5x5 or something. So that's put the yellow in. The next one, I want to get this green back in there. The last one, I want to get the white back in there, and which will therefore place the blue back in here. Okay, that is done. Let's actually fix the problem, but you can see it's shape-shifted it a bit. So the next thing to do is get those 2 flattened. So that is obviously what I'm going to do next, in the same way that I did previously. Okay, that's done. Let's have a look. I now need to fix up any other centers that still need fixing up. So there's some yellows there. I'm going to do that. That's just left a couple of yellows, but I first would like to fix the reds here as well. All of this, of course, I've done this before. It's just resulted from the swap of the 2 edges. Now, there's a couple of yellow pieces here, so they've got to be dealt with. And the last one. Now, at this point, all I have to do is get these quintets made again. Now, if I'd been more sensible, I would have thought very clearly about which slices and things to turn, because I've actually got quite a lot of them that need to be redone. So I'm just going to race through these because it's exactly the same as before. And I'm just coming down to the last few. I've got the yellow orange to do, and the only piece I've got, where is that third piece? That's the yellow orange going onto the yellow orange. The third piece, I can never ever find these third pieces. Oh, there it is there. Okay, so let's do that first of all and replace it with that. We'll see what we've got. Now, when you do that, you may in fact get this, which is not, this is a double swap, if you like. So we've definitely fixed that problem. This is a couple of yellow blues needing to swap with a couple of yellow reds. You might think, oh my goodness, I've made it worse. No, not at all. So what we want to do here is do 2 turns. Now, when we do those 2 turns, what's going to happen is we see that we've actually got now the white blue and the white orange need to swap, and the yellow red and the yellow blue need to swap. I've created, by doing that, I've created 4 pieces that I can happily use to finish them off. Obviously, I just need to get the centers dealt with again first. Those ones are done, and then the oranges and reds. Okay, now let's go ahead and say, rightio, the white oranges are ready. We'll put that one on the side. The white orange done first. And that should leave me 3 pieces. White, blue, red, yellow, blue, yellow. Perfect. So just choose one lot to do. Yellow, blue can go there. So this will be my side piece. Like that. And I forgot which one's going where. That one's going there. Make the yellow blues. Replace it with my last edge here, which will automatically and magically sort of just fall into place. And you can see, oh yeah, there we go. Now I can turn these center bits back. They're good. And I have now reduced this thing to what is essentially a 3x3x2. Whew, very, very close to the end here. What I want to do is solve the edges of the 3x3x2. So initially I can just sort of turn that into place. I can get the white orange in the same way. What's another white? There's a white green here, so that will work as well. And that's 3 done. Let's use this to get the yellow ones dealt with. Got to get a yellow orange over to that position. Which position? Can't even remember now. That was there to the yellow red. Undo that setup, that's there. 1, 2, 3. Now, you could, of course, again get a swap. If so, it means you've got to turn that face 1 turn to finish it off, but I don't. I just have to cycle these home. So that's done. And the only thing left to do is the outer corners, for which I'm going to use the corner piece series. The exact same way, but I'm turning all outer faces. Those 2 are done. Yellow, blue, orange going there. I've got, what's the last one that's got to go there? Yellow, orange, green. Again, that's on the bottom there, so I can turn that into position as a setup. Put the setup back, and those 2 are done. What's on the bottom here? I've got probably a couple of swaps. Can any of them roll? None of these can roll. So all I need to do is just think, well, white, orange, green, that's sitting there. So I'll place that down into that position. And that should leave me a final 3 cycle to carry out. And look at this, yellow, red, blue goes across to there. The last piece, the yellow, red, green, will be up the top. I turn that as a setup, carry out my final corner piece series. Undo that setup, and the whole thing is solved. Thanks for watching.